it seems to restore the mucosal health in the respiratory system, has anti-inflammatory properties, incredibly good.
You're talking about respiratory health, and I'm thinking in my head when you're talking, what about adrenal?
Mixes for even for flavoring. You only need 10 ml in a 100 ml mix, and it does the job, I find.
There's a reason to see a practitioner because, yeah, sometimes patients are taking it, they've found it somewhere in the market or something, and they've been taking it for a while, and you find out they're on blood pressure medication, and you're like, oh my God.
And you say you use it commonly for adrenal health, so it's cortisol sparing, isn't it?
People will mention, I've had this cough for so long, or it's that season, or definitely sickness, colds, flus, respiratory sickness, mold, illness, all of that.
Today, I want to do something a little bit different. I've got my good friend Shannon Burford with us. And Shannon, I wanted to discuss a favourite herb of both of ours. I'm assuming it's a favourite one of yours. It's usually every practitioner's favourite one, or amongst them. Glycyrrhiza glabra, which is licorice root. And the reason being,
I love it.
yes, good. The reason being is that over here, where I am in the Northern Rivers area, it's been incredibly wet for well over a year now, very consistent, and we have this rising damp. And last winter we had just a real prolonged season of respiratory infections, and I believe that's going to occur again now in this upcoming winter. Here at least. I don't know what you're dealing with over in Japan now. You're moving into summer there, but I don't know what your experience, especially since the COVID era, but I feel like the respiratory infections we're experiencing seem to be a lot more challenging. Pre-COVID, I felt like I could treat and knock them on their head. One of the things I found very good last year, going back to licorice root, is DGL licorice in chewable form. It was a bit of a lifesaver for me and my family, even getting it out to some of my patients, because it's very accessible and it seems to restore the mucosal health in the respiratory system, has anti-inflammatory properties, incredibly good. I just wanted to really quiz you about licorice root, its uses, because I think it's something we do take for granted a little bit. We throw it in mixes for even for flavoring. You only need 10 ml in a 100 ml mix, and it does the job, I find. I just wanted to talk to you about your experiences with it. If you think a bit of a gem like I do, and especially in recent times with the rise of respiratory infections and things like mold related illness, I found it's been a bit of a gem. What are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, it's funny you're talking about respiratory health, and I'm thinking in my head when you're talking, what about adrenal? Because I may use it more for adrenal, but you can use it for so many things.
Yep.
Isn't it a great herb?
And gut health. Gut health is a big one I use it for.
Yeah, tastes so good as well. And you mentioned there about DGL. The viewers might not know what that is.
Yes, deglycerized licorice.
Yeah.
So there's a active ingredient in licorice root, especially in our liquid herbs that we have, that causes a rise in blood pressure with certain individuals. Deglycerized licorice prevents that from happening. So that's what I'm
they just take that out of it.
Yes.
And then they do it in gut formulas. There's a reason to see a practitioner because, sometimes patients are taking it. They've found it somewhere in the market or something, and they've been taking it for a while, and you find out they're on blood pressure medication, and you're like, oh my God, did you know that? Because it is a root, it's a beautiful taste. It's got so many actions, but there is that little area that you've got to be careful of. I love it. I love it as a tea, put it in a mix, because often when people are sick, coughing all night for weeks, they're probably exhausted as well. So then it's helping their cortisol, and it's helping their cough as well. And there's mucous membranes. It's definitely one of my favorite.
Right.
Only thing I do notice is also not long term, because it can affect the potassium levels. So just to be wary of that.
Yeah.
and some conditions as well with that people have. Gut, really soothing, sore throat, soothing, brilliant herb, isn't it?
Yeah. And look, I just wanted to bring it up because I feel it became an essential part of my prescriptions. And even myself using it because I'm in a very damp environment where I'm living at the moment. I just thought, that would be something to chat about with you. Did you see that last year with any of your patients, if they were living in certain areas where they were vulnerable? I know a lot of your patients are over in the West, so it may not be as much of an issue. We've seen worldwide respiratory infections rise. Is it something you do see in clinic?
Yeah, people will mention, I've had this cough for so long, or it's that season, or definitely sickness, colds, flus, respiratory sickness, mold, illness, all of that. People unable to shake a cough. And licorice definitely plays a part in that.
Yep. And you say you use it commonly for adrenal health, so it's cortisol sparing, isn't it? So if you're looking at that, traditionally we used to talk about adrenal fatigue. I guess it could be very good for those people who run low on cortisol or need cortisol support. I guess we're still exploring some of those mechanisms. A great addition, again, you only need a small amount. It could go in with an adaptogen mix and have really, really good benefits.
Yeah, and I've experimented too, and I've seen it over 5 years, the two formulations, where one formulation will have your classics, withania, rhodiola, Siberian ginseng or something, and then with the licorice, and far always really noticeable better effects.
Yeah, great.
Licorice so has to go in there.
There you go. And not just for respiratory infections, for adrenal support and gut health. Look, I love it too. It's a tea. It can be a great tea. A chewable DGL seems to do the job, and also liquid herbs if you want to get the real strong.
Another one, H. pylori, very good one for that.
Yes, that's right. Yes, because I've used it many times. It coupled that with green tea for H. pylori.
Bacteria.
Yeah, so that's where I do commonly use it as well, in liquid herbal forms.
Could go on and on about licorice.
yeah. And, that's why I thought it'd be a nice one to chat with you today. Okay, so if you liked that discussion on licorice and you want to hear more on herbal formulas or herbs in general, give us a comment and give us a like and subscribe.